Hi guys, and welcome to this TT Isle of Man ride on the edge video, where we'll be continuing our look at the career mode. So I've just accepted an event, I believe it was sections 4 and 5 of the mountain course. So we have a TT style race here. I think there's 10 competitors in total and 7.9 kilometers in distance. So let's crack on. Okay, so section 5 to 6, or was it 4 to 5? I can't remember now, but these early sections I know reasonably well, so I will have reasonable sort of track knowledge for this section, so I know roughly where to come off the throttle, etc., and when to brake. So in particular this turn coming up here, this left-hander coming up now, very easy to run wide there onto the curb, so you've really got to be careful on this right hand. A bit of throttle through, and already look at that, catching the AI rider ahead, so really surprising stuff. Did not expect to see him so soon. You've really got to sort of commit yourself to one side or the other. So on the left here we go, as it can be very easy as to crash into the AI. And the problem with overtaking AI, of course, they're usually on the racing line, so when you come, when you do make an overtake, you often get yourself out of shape, and I almost hit the wall to the right a moment ago as a result, so it can sort of throw you off your rhythm. Okay, bit of contact there, we get away with it though, that's the main thing. And I can see the other rider ahead of me as well on the minimap, shown as a orange dot, much like myself. It's actually off the minimap at the moment, but it was there just for a moment, so that's a good sign when you catch other AI riders, of course. It's a good sign that you're doing a decent enough job. Okay, so here's where you really get to wind the power on, but there is a tricky right-hander, really high speed right-hander coming up in a moment, and it's very easy to get wrong. You could spit the bike out either side of the road. It really is tough. So you've got to come off the throttle, turn in, not too much, but just enough to get you round. So that was good. Sort of sigh of relief when you get past that moment, because it is really easy to come off. Okay, downhill section, and then again you can see the rider in front on the mini map there, so that's a good sign. Really high speed section this. Look at this sensor speed as well. I'm only doing 120, but it looks a lot more, doesn't it? Incredible stuff. We've got a really tight turn current now, I believe. So I'm just going to ease off the throttle a little bit on the brakes. There we go. Through we go then. So doing okay. 2 minutes in. I can't believe it's been 2 minutes already. They say time flies when you're having fun. Well, I'm having a lot of fun, but I'm also pretty terrified, as we said. Okay, so we're catching the rider ahead now, so it's looking pretty good. The finish line is not too far away, I don't believe. Okay, so a little bit on the brakes here. Okay, a little bit more, a little tighter than I expected through there. Got these trees, lovely colour, the flowers and stuff. Really is nice place to be. Oh, really heavy on the brakes through there then. So coming up to the 3-minute mark. Okay, here's the finish line then. So that was that. Now it's just a matter of seeing where we finish. Okay, so we're quite down the order actually, so we're 12 seconds more or less off the lead rider, which is surprising. But it's all about getting used to the track and stuff. If it was easy, it wouldn't have as much longevity. The fact that it is tough. I mean, this is only on medium, and I'm struggling here, so particularly on the TT I find is particularly difficult. But on the fictional tracks, I get it's easier to get to grips with them, because they're obviously a lot smaller and easier to learn. But there you go. So that was that in 6th place, and we're going to go on to the next event. Right, so let's have a look at the inbox, see what events we have. So we have a choice here, the Castle Ring TT, Triumph Invitational. Very low prizes actually, those two. So it's we have another Triumph Invitational, £14,000, and we have the Triangle Raceway TT 2.5. Okay, let's go to the Triumph Invitational and see what track it is, because it's not actually telling me. Okay, no, it is on the right there. Okay, so super hillside, entrance fee is £111, so we've got 4 laps. Okay, so this is pretty epic stuff. Okay, let's get going. Right, I just want to make one amendment to the riding style menu here. So I just want to put traction control on low. I'll leave ABS on medium. Okay, that'll do for now. Okay, so 4 laps, 8 kilometres, so we're talking 32 kilometres in total. 10 runners, a mass start. So here we go, Super Hillside in Wales. Okay, so it looks like we're going to be taking the lead early on then, from 8th up into 1st. Keeping the power on as much as possible through there because I don't want to see the AI making contact with me, because they are not shy about hitting you from behind. I notice as we go on this uphill section. Nice little lead there, you can see the AI behind, trailing by quite a little margin. And you know, I love the little town sections in this game. I feel like they've really captured the sort of essence of these picturesque towns. Got all the flowers and colour either side, and amazing looking trees, of course, which we've spoken about more than one occasion. Now there's a bump here, so you really got to slow down. You want to attack that turn, you really do, but you can't because you end up flying off the bike. Okay, so you get some nice speed coming up now. So get full throttle and stay on the throttle for a while. So up into top gear then, 160. Now this is pretty much flat, but here I do come off, so I just haven't quite, I don't think I'm going to make that flat. I think that's a little bit too much to ask from the bike. Okay, get back on the power, there we go, that's what the bike wants. Okay, again a nice sort of straight here. So the AI is quite a bit behind now, so that's good, because all I know is that it only takes one fall off the bike and you can quickly go from first to last. So on the brakes nice and early, because this is one hell of a turn. Look at that, wow, just when you think you've got it, it tightens even more. So you know, it's very easy to hit the wall there. So some turns you have to really respect, you really have to get the speed down. You think you're going really slow, but you have to sometimes, you know, until you really learn the turns, you know, inside and out, then you can sort of start to take more speed and more liberties with it. Okay, so we've got a 90-degree right here. So again, just get on the brakes nice and early. No dramas here. And there we go. Again, have a little look. Okay, so we've got a decent lead so far. So far, so good. Now if this was any other racing game, I would turn the difficulty up, because this would be boring to me, but because I know how intense this game is, you can come off at any time. You can go flying off your bike if you do one little mistake, so you never relax in this game. It's just constant tension, you know, constant fear of falling off, so particularly when you're talking and playing at the same time, it really is tough. So just avoiding the curb there, avoiding the temptation to get on the power early. As once again we come up this lovely uphill section. Really is one of the highlights for me of this game, of the fictional tracks at least, this little section. Love it. Okay, so yeah, so we've got a nice lead at the moment. Oh, gone in there a little bit too hot. And on the brakes, get the bumps, got to ride those bumps, there we go. Okay, so happy so far. So far so good. I didn't quite catch the lap time. I think it was under 3 minutes, wasn't it? So we may not have to make any cuts in this gameplay as a result. Okay, so this is flat. Let's take a little bit more power through this one. Yeah, so you could take that. I don't know if you can get flat around there, but you could certainly give it some. Okay, so much quicker through there than last lap. As a result, I've got a massive lead now with the AI. It's 180, almost 190, 190. Wow. Okay, so get on the brakes nice and early. Get down to first, and then turning in. A little bit of throttle, because you don't want to turn with no throttle, because it is easy then to fall off the bike. Yeah, the bike will just topple over if you lean too much without any throttle. So it's always a good idea just to have a little bit of throttle going on, you know, even if it's only a tiny amount, just to keep the bike happy. dab on the brakes there because it is changing elevation through there, so it is easy to unsettle the bike. Through we go then. So I just want to keep as much momentum up as I possibly can. I'm not trying to set the world alight here, but I'm more concerned with consistency and not sort of staying away from obviously the size of the road, but also just trying to keep out as many, keep from doing as many sort of minimising the hairy moments is what I'm trying to say. So just keep it as stable as I possibly can. Okay, just braking nice and early there, turning in. It's almost like a double apex that you really have to sort of aim for the second lot of curb on the right in order to sort of get that turn right. Oh, now then, so there you go. So there you go, that's how easy it is to fall off the bike. So that's why I'm not putting the AI up to a harder setting at the moment. Because that can happen at any time. I do have the traction control on low. Oh, now then, on the brakes, yep. So riding, there's 2 or 3 bumps there. Yeah, so that was the third bump there we just saw. So just when you think you're over the worst of it, you do get that third bump which can really throw you up. So requires absolute concentration in this game. It's just as well it has this handling model, because I don't think I could get on with it if it had anything that was harder to sort of get to grips with, because I can put the bike more or less where I want to put it, and that's what we want from high-speed games such as this. So, this intense. If there was much more nuance to it, it would be really, really tough to. You got to think of everyday players, more casual players. I hate using that word casual, but I guess players that are less experienced. They just, even as it is, this is a really tough game. So I am glad that they've gone with the model they have, although it could do with 1 or 2 refinements as we've spoken about before, particularly in our team chat there. If you haven't seen that yet, do check out the team chat on TT Isle of Man. Okay, so third lap of 4. So I've been riding now for 7 minutes and I haven't really managed to properly relax once, so although I'm getting slightly better at talking and riding at the same time. But it is very tough, you cannot lose concentration for a moment, because you will no doubt get punished. Okay, so through there, so breathing a sigh of relief now as we come through that last sort of section, and coming up to the end, I think, of the third lap, or soon enough anyway. We'll go through these sort of S's. Yes, so here we go, coming up to the end of the third. So no idea how far I am in front. This is where we need split times badly in this game, as I get onto the dirt there and lose the bike. So yeah, split times would be a massively welcome feature, Killerton. So please get onto that, because we want to see gaps. Particularly when we're doing staggered starts, I find that we have no idea. Oh, look at that. So close to losing it through there. But yeah, I want to know right now how far the AI is behind me, the second place AI, and I have no idea. All I have is visual cues from the mini-map, or just from looking behind me, but of course, as I don't see them, I have no idea whether they're 10 seconds behind or 20 seconds behind at the moment. So it would be very good to see splits. That third bump just a moment ago really wiggled the back end, that rear wheel. I thought I was coming off actually, so another tense moment there. Okay, so we're past the 9-minute mark now. It's incredible really, because the minutes go past so quickly, because it is so intense. You really are in the moment at every turn. I don't think I've played a game quite like this, or at least not for many years. But it is quite rough around the edges in some respects. Say the career mode, for example, the user interface is very bland. Would like to see a little bit more character there. And just the way you accept events from the emails, it's all feels quite sterile. it's just lacking a bit of character, a bit of life, a bit of. I mean, yeah, we'd love to see some more sort of fan service, some more, or some just any really footage from the TT. You know, show us some onboard. Wouldn't an onboard tutorial, for example, wouldn't that be amazing to see in this game? So it's little things like that that just sort of add so much to the title, and you know, it's just sorely missing a few features. You know, I'd love to see some more lower powered, well, some lower powered bikes, because there are none. We have the Super Sports, which we're riding now, and then we have these super bikes. Of course, we do have sidecars coming in May. That'd be a massively welcome feature. I'd love to get on that and see what that's all about, because that's almost like a car, isn't it? You know, I'd love to drive a car on this track. That'd be amazing. Okay, anyway, we're coming up to the end of the 4th lap then, so let's see where the rest of the riders fell. Okay, so 10:48. Now I have no idea how close or how far away they are, so 10 seconds has elapsed already. Okay, so we've got a decent lead, so it may be over 20 seconds. And it is. Okay, so let's skip to the end then. Oh wow, so that was over a minute behind. Wow, so wasn't expecting that. Okay, so let's continue. Right then, so it looks like we're going to be competing in the very same race again for a second time. So, okay, so this time starting in first place, no doubt because of my finish previously. So again, it's just about sort of keeping ahead of the AI as best as I can. And now I've sort of built up a few laps on this track. I now feel a little bit more confident to attack it a little bit more. Oh, just nicking that curb though. Getting away with it. Only just though, because it did sort of put me onto the far... oh dear. Almost losing it there. Okay, so perhaps a little bit of overconfidence creeping in now. Just got to steady myself. On the brakes. A little bit hot through there. And now we're going to be braking hard. Oh, not hard enough though. But we've stayed on the bike. Only just. Wow. So I've just rode those bumps a little bit too hard there, a little bit too much speed, and that was the result. So really tricky stuff. That's why you've got to get the speed down over some bumps. Anyway, nicely up into second place now, so closing in on the lead rider. Lots of speed through here. Okay, let's see how fast the AI takes this section. Okay, so we're much quicker through there. Okay then, so nicely onto the straights. In first place, bit of a struggle to get there, but we got there in the end. Had a couple of hairy moments. Good speed through here, look at this, 190 plus. And on the brakes. Or will we brake too late? Can we rescue it? Only just, wow. And even though I was going to hit the wall, I still had a little bit of throttle on, because I was conscious of the fact that if I didn't have any throttle on, you know, banking at that sort of angle. Oh no, look at that, wow. You know, banking at that angle with no throttle is asking for trouble in this game, so. So we've dropped down at the 5th now, so we've got some places to make up. Okay, so setting myself up for this 90-degree right. Wow, so took that very high speed, too high actually. As a result, I almost lost the rear, which is very easy to do. It is hard to catch. You can actually catch it, as you saw there, but it is very difficult. It will take a lot of experience to catch that rear end, because initially you'll find that you'll play the game and the rear will just snap up, you know, for no reason, or you know, seemingly no reason. But of course you get to learn why it does that with experience, and then of course you can then, you know, sort of get yourself out of trouble. Right, so coming up to the end of the 2nd lap, so 2 more laps to go. We're in 4th place, and the rider in the lead is quite a distance ahead, so it hasn't gone as smoothly this time as it did the last. Okay, so back on this uphill section that I like so much. And then of course we're going to be approaching the very bumpy section in a moment. So I really do have to get on the brakes. Here we go then on the brakes. Oops. Bump 2, here's number 3. There it is. Okay, so back on the power then. We've come through the bumps. Oh, I got very tight there to the, what was it, like rocks I think it was on the inside there, so keeping on the power. This is going to be flat. Okay, and then taking it reasonably cautious through here. Oh, look at that, and that's why. Goodness me. Okay, so a little bit out of shape there. Distracted there by the rider flying off his bike, so you know, it just goes to highlight just how crazy this game can be at times. So 7 minutes in, and we're in third place. I can see the rider ahead just about. 190 through here, so on the brakes. Oh, look at that. That's really tight, isn't it? Okay, so you can see the two riders ahead, so we are catching nicely. If I don't fall off the bike, I can overtake these guys, I know that. But if I do have a mistake or two, it might be difficult. Okay, so we made a mistake, so we have dropped back the field a little bit now, so we're in 5th place, but we have caught the riders ahead now, so looking to get into 3rd place in just a moment. So I can probably make the overtakes here actually, so we're going to go for it before we hit the brakes in a moment. Okay, so the lead riders are just tackling the hairpin up ahead. So we're not miles behind, but we do have a lot of work to go all the same. In fact, no, this is the last lap, so we won't have time probably to catch them. Nonetheless, you know, a 3rd place is okay. Just made 1 or 2 mistakes more than perhaps I should. Oh, now then, the rider ahead has actually just made a mistake, so I probably will get the overtake on this guy. Here we go. So, oh, goodness me, didn't mean to do that. So it's nice to see the AI do actually make mistakes. Okay, so it's 90 right. So it looks like 2nd place then. So not too shabby. But considering how much I won the first race by, it just goes to show when you do make a few mistakes, it can really ruin your race. But anyway, we're going to come over the finish line in 2nd place. Okay, so we are back here once again at the Super Hillside track, which I believe is the 3rd and final race in this championship. I didn't actually know it was a championship until the 2nd race, which was you know, held here again. So I thought, oh, okay, it must be a championship then if we're competing in the 2nd race. Very unusual to actually come to the, you know, the same location over and over in a championship. You know, it's highly unusual to see that. Good action here though at the front. Looking to close on this rider ahead. Oh, now get a little bit out of shape there. Okay, so I prepare myself now for this bumpy section coming up rather. Okay, so the AI is just as nervous through there as I am. Ooh, nearly making contact there, so getting away with that. And you will have countless times where you've scraped by in this game. You know, so it makes it so compelling to play because you can, you know, ride on the ragged edge and, you know, get away with quite a few moments. Oh, look at that, that's a moment and a half, wow. So once again the AI getting into trouble, which is a good thing because it does add, you know, a bit more sort of fun to the races. You know, if they were just sort of glued onto the racing line all the way around, it would be very sort of boring and robotic, wouldn't it? So it's nice to see the AI actually having some incredible crashes, because no doubt you will too at some stage. Okay, so off the throttle, on the brakes, nice and gently. Turning in at about 40 miles per hour. So just keeping a tiny bit of throttle on through there, just to keep the bike happy and stable. Okay, so we've got a reasonably decent lead now. It would be nice to win this last race in the championship, just so I know I'm going to take the first place. And with it a pretty decent cash prize. I can't remember what it was exactly, but it was certainly higher than the other offers. And perhaps the reason for that is because it was a championship and I didn't quite understand at the time. So I will bear that in mind for future. Okay, so now we're coming through these bendy sections here for the start-finish line. So you can attack through here, particularly the second set here. Can really get the speed up. Across the line at about 160 miles per hour. Oh, now getting that wrong and going flying off the bike there. Just so I didn't clear the fence there, because there was a field of sheep, which could have ended dramatically. Okay, so we've got a bit of catching up to do now. So turning late, there we go, that's the curb I want to get near, although I didn't get anywhere near it on that occasion. So second place, lap 2 of 4. Okay, so high speed section here, we're going to be looking for my braking point, which is just before the sort of sunbeam that comes through the trees. In just a moment, I'll show you in a second. Okay, so there's the sunlight coming through, so we'll get on the brakes there just as the shade meets the sun. Gives me a nice braking point. Okay, so we're going to have a decent battle. So he seems pretty quick actually. Well, it like ran a bit wide there. Just love leaning into the sort of shrubbery at the side there. It can almost sort of block your view. That's when you know you're getting close. Okay, so through that tough section now, we can wind on the power through the bendy sections. So left and right, number 1, and then the left and right, number 2, as we once again come across the start-finish line. So start the third lap of 4. He's maintaining his gap ahead, I must say, so he is quick. So there may be a little bit of inconsistency with the AI, I find, because I beat this AI a moment ago in the first race by a huge margin, and here I am struggling to sort of keep up. So it's almost like reverse rubber banding going on here. It's very unusual. I guess it all depends on whether the AI makes a mistake or not. You know, if they have a clean run, I guess they're going to be a lot tougher, of course, to get in front of. Okay, so just been a little bit more aggressive over there, just trying to close up a little bit on the rider ahead. So we're going to be taking a turn flat here. We may even make the pass. Let's see. Here we go. So it's going to be a bit of a hairy moment. Okay, we get the pass done before, so that's good. But I can hear his bike very loud, so he's not messing about behind me. As oh wow, how have we stayed? How have we stayed on the bike? I don't know, but we have. That was incredibly lucky. Wow. I thought that was it. 100% I was coming off. So the bike gods shining on me at the moment. Okay, so once again then on the brakes. Very firm on the brakes this time. Yeah, I was concerned that we're perhaps a little bit too late, but we do make contact, but we get away with it again, so it's unusual actually to make this many mistakes, but it just highlights just how tense and difficult this game really is. So I don't mind making a few mistakes as long as I sort of finish in the top places, ideally first, because when you finish second, of course, you don't get no prizes, which is not good. Okay, so once again, through this little town. I have a reasonably good lead now, so it's looking good for first place as long as I don't make any mistakes, which admittedly is quite a tough ask. Once again through this horrible section here, you've got to be slow. Okay, there we go, here's the third bump. Okay, so we're over cleanly, under control. Now I like a little lift here, so I don't feel like I can take that flat without really sort of risking hitting the outside there. But I know for a fact this turn coming up is flat, because I've taken it many times before, flats. And then the left-hander ahead of this, I'm taking more and more risks with, running wide there though, and again, well, again getting very lucky through there. So, you know, when you do build up your confidence, of course you will start to override certain turns, or you know, perhaps you're not sort of correctly set up for the turn yet, you still take it faster than before. Again, a little stutter there. It does seem to happen every lap through that particular section, and you know, you end up crashing out. You know, the more confident you get, you do have, you know, you run the risk of being overconfident, so you take turns at higher speeds, and you know, it doesn't go well, then you end up sort of going back to the speeds that you did before. But it's all about learning, really. Yeah, there's so much speed to find. You know, my racing line is pretty terrible at the moment because I'm just simply hanging on for dear life through these turns. Just happy enough to sort of complete the laps, hopefully without coming off the bike. And of course, once you learn the track and really get to, you know, learn the bikes better, then you can start applying decent racing lines, and that's when your times really come down, of course. But anyway, we're going to be coming up to the end of this race and the end of the championship very shortly. So the final left and right, which you can really attack. So virtually, now coming off. So we're going to have a massive moment. So almost coming across the line off the bike, but hopefully, yeah, we're in no danger of coming second. So there you go, a moment there right at the end. And hopefully we've won this championship. Well, yes, we have won this championship now, because we came first in the first race, second in the second, and first in the third. So there we go. So just to confirm, there you go, 25 points. So we've won it by quite a margin. But anyway, we're going to leave it there for our second video on the TT Isle of Man Ride on the Edge career mode, and we'll have more coming up very shortly. Thanks for watching.